I've always been too scared to tackle the mighty Napoleon cake. If you're like me and have been waiting for this masterpiece, trust me, this version takes just an hour and a half. So let's get started. 800 flour, 400 of ice-cold butter grated. Mix it up with 2 ice-cold eggs and a teaspoon of salt. 200 grams of 10% sour cream, and finally 100 grams of ice-cold water. Don't overmix, just enough to bring it all together. Roll out 12 pieces of dough and voila! The 13 layer magically appears from the leftovers. Now we're whipping up the famous Diplomat Cream. Start by pouring 350 ml of milk into a thick bottom saucepan. Pop it on the stove to warm up. Meanwhile, in a separate bowl, dissolve 50 grams of cornstarch in 150 ml of milk and set it aside. In another bowl, crack 2 eggs and mix in 1 packet of vanilla sugar and 50 grams of sugar and 50 grams of stevia. Now combine the cornstarch mixture with the eggs and sugars and slowly pour this into the heated milk on the stove. Stir constantly until it thickens and you see the first bubbles appear. This means it's ready. Remove from the heat, toss in 100 grams of cold cubed butter and mix until smooth. Transfer the cream to a container, cover it with plastic wrap, make sure it's touching the surface to avoid the skin forming, and chill in the fridge until completely cool. Once our dough has chilled, and now it's time to roll out those 12 layers one by one. Roll each piece on parchment paper, making sure it's slightly larger than our 20 cm square. Before baking, poke each layer with a fork to prevent puffing. Then pop them into preheated oven at 220 Celsius, top and bottom heat, no convection. Each layer bakes for just 9 minutes. Once a layer is out of the oven, use your square template to cut out a perfect 20 cm square while it's still warm. Repeat this with all 13 layers. Now let's finish the Diplomat Cream. Grab the cooled custard from this fridge. In a separate bowl with 400 grams of very cold 33 or 35% cream with 2 packets of vanilla sugar. Gradually fold the custard into the whipped cream. Whip it all together. Diplomat Cream is ready. Time to assemble layer by layer. 2 tablespoons of cream and repeat until all layers are stacked. Finally, spread the remaining cream on top and around the edges. Now remember those scraps from trimming our layers? It's time to put them to good use. Crush them up using whatever method you prefer, whether it's by hand or in a food processor. Then generously sprinkle these crumbles all over the top and sides of your cake. Now let your masterpiece rest overnight in the fridge. The cake slices beautifully, looks stunning, and tastes absolutely divine. Give it a try and let me know how yours turns out.